we're looking for. Why, it's almost as if I can hear the words. Sel Ra Ang Temple? Daedra? I don't have time for distractions. Could you hold them off while I finish translating? The inscription indicates that the temple is further up. Quick, follow me. We get separated. I was just behind you. I swear I was walking in the opposite direction. Well, let's carry on. How did we get separated? I was just behind you. I hear you! Over here! Well, seems the rumors are true. Ebon Stadmont truly does twist around you. Perhaps another inscription will help guide us. Aha! Now let's see. That voice again. Para Ekne. Past pathway? Daedra again? We don't have time for this. The temple should be just ahead.
One day I'll be free, and nothing will stop the nightmares from taking me.
Presto! The past revealed.
Thank the stars. I think he's coming too.
Am I really an Aetherius? I didn't know they let your kind in here. We of the House of Reveries have no names, only masks. But you can call me Fletch, because I specialize in the art of the bow, see? Oh, my aching head. How did I end up here? I don't remember a thing. Eben Stadmont, I'm sorry, but I just don't remember. I must have come here with my traveling troupe, though. I wouldn't have left Relenthal without them. Someone must have ambushed me. A ferocious someone, given my state. Daedra? Find my troop leader, Maestro Forte. I need to warn him. He should be somewhere nearby, I think. Forte! Is that you?
Fletch, what's happened? The whole troop is looking for you.
Grand Maestro Forte? Why, I had no idea you were in Ebon Stadmont.
Grand? Oh no, I'm simply Maestro Forte. Hardly worthy of the title Grand yet. It appears you've saved Fletch from the brink of death. It brings to mind the story of Temerian, who of course was saved by the Nereids of... Ah, but now is not the time for such tales. Tell me, what has happened? Daedra? I had no idea. Our watch did report some strange creatures prowling about at night, but I've heard of no other attacks. Something must be attracting them here. Did you just come from the temple? The only thing of note I discovered within the temple is a glowing stone in its main chamber. I've yet to translate the stone's inscription, but it may be attracting Daedra to it. I found a similar stone nearby. Can you help me investigate? Excellent. Why don't you and your companion head to the stone? Just follow the path north. I'll escort Fletch to our camp and make sure he's seen to. We'll meet back here afterward and share our findings.
I know this is strange, but let's get to this stone. Perhaps it can answer some questions. The House of Reveries in Ebon Stadmont? Why wouldn't I have heard about that?
Lenka, fall away. Future's door.
Did you hear it too? That woman's voice. At first I thought I was imagining it. Future's door. Drat. Well, I've realized where we are. A House of Reveries expedition I've never heard of. Grand Maestro Forte rebuffing his proper title. And the temple room where we found Fletch? It looked the same as the room we first entered, but there wasn't a cobweb or broken pew in sight. It means we ventured somewhere we never should have gone. The past. I know it seems far-fetched, but remember that stone we first activated? I thought the inscription referenced an event, but the past was a destination, not an occurrence. That's my theory, and I'd rather not explore further to find out. Affecting the past has far-reaching consequences. It makes me wonder what trouble we've already caused. But this stone's inscription indicates it should send us back to the present. I can't be sure, in all honesty, but we have to try. Otherwise, we'll be stuck in the past. This stone should lead us back to our natural time. All you need to do is keep that destination clearly in your mind. I'll follow right behind you. I've been hearing this voice since I first started translating these inscriptions. It must be some sort of magic, connected to the inscriptions. Perhaps connected to the language itself, come to think of it. Oh, it is rather odd for a mysterious language to speak to anyone who reads it. The misdirecting nature of Ebon Stadmont must have kept researchers from studying these inscriptions, that's all. Not to mention the local wildlife. I'm not sure what to tell you. I do know that we have to return to our time, and quickly. This mysterious voice, whatever its motivation, is the only thing helping us do that. We have little choice but to follow it now. It is quite intriguing. Grand Maestro Forte is the head of Somerset's greatest acting troupe, the House of Reveries. But I've also heard tale that he's a great academic as well, though perhaps I'm more familiar with his work than I thought. The research I've been using to help translate the language here came from an expedition that occurred around this time. Perhaps Maestro Forte wrote the very notes that led me here. I'll ask him, but I'd rather have. Well, Fletch was very close to death, and I recall seeing bones in our present time, right where I found him injured. Most likely he was supposed to die. I'm almost glad I was so ignorant when I healed him. I don't know what I would have done. As I said earlier, changing the past has far-reaching consequences. For all I know,
Who's there? Isaacs, it's you. Years and years, and I never could find you. And here you are, back where it all began. Looking as if you haven't aged a day. My friend, what happened to you? So the stone did send you to the future after all. I had feared the worst. That day I tried to follow after you and return to our original time. But the stone's magic faded, and the doorway closed. Try as I might, I couldn't get it to open. I was trapped within Ebon Stadmont. For decades, I'd been studying this language and desperately searching for a way out. But my path would always lead me back here. But I did it. I finally found a way to go back, to stop this all from happening. I must stop myself from ever going back in time. I've been wasting my life within this cursed forest. The Southern Stone. That's the key to... Wait, what's that? Is that Fletch? Fletch! Ah!
I'm sorry, dear, but your role has been cut.
The temple. You must go back. Go through the temple The Southern Stone. Bane away, Tendel. Those are the words. Stop this from happening. Take my diary. It will prove everything.
Time for the grand finale of our little production. And thus the play continues. I'll see you soon.
Such an effort to escape me. I suppose I have what I need.
Well, I suppose it's curtain call. You finally figured it out. Well, and Derwin figured it out, didn't she? But hey, you put all the legwork in. And here you are, just in time to stop our leading lady from ever performing her starring role. Ah, but did you kill me? Truly? Not even an accomplished healer could bring me back? And yes, I did take part in Derwin's final scene. Or rather, I will. All a matter of perspective there, you see. But she shouldn't have tried to cut the act short. Derwin was the leading lady of our production. It was up to her to uncover the mysteries of Ebon Stadmont, to find the true potential of its hidden power. But she found a way to escape, and in her last breath told you the way back to the start. Sadly, yes, and so my part must end as well. I put on quite the performance, though, don't you think? The poor, confused soul, the dastardly villain, the mysterious sage. But I think you have a task to do, don't you? A dying wish to fulfill? Yes, our heroine should be just outside, if I remember correctly. After so many times around, though, I tend to lose track. Well, no need to get into all of that. I told you the very first time we met. I'm Fletch. I used to be a mere actor, but now I serve a greater force. I've served her for quite a while now, helping to fund Stadmont. With Derwin's help, of course. What did Derwin call her? Ah, the Spirit of the Sanctum. An appropriate title as any. She rules over this forest. I think she always has, though I'm not quite sure. She needed the power here, you see. Ebon Stadmont was integral to her plans. Don't bother asking me. Mostly because I have no idea. I would have died had the spirit not saved me. And it wasn't too bad. A supporting role at best. I'd make sure the loop continued, make sure Derwin kept researching again and again. Oh, I wouldn't worry too much about it. I barely understand, and I've lived through it. And it's done now, in any case. You made sure of that. But I think the spirit learned enough. It will have to do. The language here, of course. You see, it's all rather tricky. Only mortals are able to use the language. That's what allowed you to travel through time, after all. And Derwin was the perfect candidate to uncover its secrets. Yes, all our heroine needed was the proper motivation. Derwin was trapped within the forest, unable to get out. Then she would hear a whisper, guiding, always guiding. And as Derwin used the language, my mistress would be watching. What did Derwin call her? Ah,
there you are. How did you get inside without me seeing you? We finally made it to the temple. Oh, I just can't wait to see what secrets are inside. The temple is a trap? What do you mean? A book? Why, this is my handwriting. I've been trapped within this forest for decades now. Trapped within the past. My face is filled with wrinkles. My heart darkened with regrets. My life was stolen from me. Something trying to... My goodness, this is all so hard to wrap my head around. Yes, I agree. You've gone above and beyond protecting me during this expedition. Though the details seem a bit complicated, to think I would have been trapped here, I'd say our contract is concluded. Thank you for all you've done. I suppose I did succeed in this expedition. The notes you've given me are written by my hand after all. Though, of course, that me won't exist now since you've stopped me and I'm going to stop now. Before my head hurts. I'm sure these notes will give me more details. The best thing to do now is share our findings with the Mages Guild. Let them know how dangerous this forest truly is. As for me, I'll join back up with Tellinger. You know, it may be silly, but I suppose I came here to step out of his shadow. If I could be the one to crack Ebon Stadmont, well, perhaps that would be enough. And then I was trapped in the past to serve a mysterious being. Well, I would have been. Tellinger is the one who makes brash decisions and puts us all in danger, and I'm the one who helps fix it. Yet as soon as I lead, I find myself in the same position as him. For now, I'd rather clean up his messes rather than make my own. Well, it is a lovely view. Once we put it I suppose I did succeed in this expedition. The notes you've given me...
Attention! Class is now in session. It found me! Save yourselves!
Can't you see I am busy? Can't you see I am busy?
There, across the waves. Do you see them? Ships. Dozens of them heading toward us. Gird yourself, soldier.
What are you doing? Stop this nonsense right now. Unbelievable. Eye of Magnus, another one. That's a very convincing costume. What are you supposed to be? Some gallant hero? Trinimac in disguise? Wait, you're not one of my classmates. You really are a hero, aren't you? Thank Auriel. I need your help. I may have unleashed a powerful enchantment on the Academy. Quite by accident, mind you. There's this book, you see, The Illuminous. I stole just the briefest of peeks. Barely even a peek, honestly. More like a fleeting glimpse. It drove my classmates mad. They were all quite sane before, but now they seem possessed by characters from novels and storybooks. They're snorting like pigs, running from cats. It's lunacy. I have some ideas on how to fix this, but I need help. Thank you so much for lending a hand. Honestly, if I had known this tome would cause so much trouble, I never would have opened it. When I opened the book, The Illuminous, there was a great flash of light and a low growl. Or maybe a yawn. Like some great beast just woke from a deep sleep. Originally, it was full of dense text. Now, just see for yourself. I set it down over there. You see? It's empty. It's as if the words just scampered off the page. I thought maybe the enchantment rendered the words invisible, so I tried to recover them. I used gazing lenses, Welkind revelation stones, even a bit of lemon juice. Nothing. I'm not sure. I certainly hope not. The words could be dancing around in oblivion for all I know. We should focus on the enchantment itself. If we manage to loosen its grip on some of my friends, they might be able to provide some clues.
Erudiel? Oh, what are you still doing here?
Glardir, where in Tamriel have you been?
I told you before, Glardir's gone. Look, you're so plain, Erudiel. So boring.
Well, there's no need for that. I know she doesn't seem the part, but Glardir's my best friend. She was with me when I opened the Illuminous, and now she's... Well, frankly, I don't know what she is. Executing this plan is going to be harder than I thought. Right. Sorry. As far as I can tell, everyone thinks they're a character from some book or another. If we can figure out what persona they've taken on, we can trick them into doing something out of character. Maybe. It's a start. You can't expect me to know everything. It's only my 14th year, for Mara's sake. I'll start with Glardir, though I must admit I have no idea what character she's channeling. You should find some of the others. I think I saw Pavo over by the east wall. He was scrounging around on the ground. Tanelwyn was in the lecture garden. Looked like she was interrogating someone. And I heard Selinia yelling from up on the wall. Make sure she doesn't slip. Where do you think? Fumbling around like the rest of my classmates. I ran straight to the headmaster when I realized what had happened. But when I got there, I found him standing on his desk, swinging a broom around like an orcish cleaver. I've been asking myself the same thing. Truthfully, I'm totally unremarkable. Everyone says so. I can't imagine that I have some special quality that rendered me immune. I suppose it's possible. My mother always said I was special. I've always been very good with jigsaw puzzles, paper folding too. Do you think that could have something to do with it? Remarkable! Everyone always says I'm so dull, but you see, I've got hidden depths. Would you believe idle curiosity? No? Fine. I borrowed it from the librarian, Camley Hall, to impress Glardir. The, Library of Shrieking Terror. Borrowed? I was going to put it back. Honestly, I don't even know why we have a Library of Shrieking Terror. This is a school, for Ariel's sake. I just wanted to impress Glardir. I thought that if I showed her the book, she'd think more of me. Yes, of course. Goodness, we've barely even had a chance to speak about it. This is the Illumination Academy, a home for verse, prose, and near-forgotten songs. Our libraries contain all the tales of Somerset. We're caretakers, you might say. Don't be crude. We don't just organize the tales. We study and transcribe them, breathing new life into old stories, songs, plays, novels. We cherish them all. Of course, my classmates are cherishing them a little too much right now. I focus on lesser-known works, plays mostly. The works of Taldinderil, for instance. They're pretty dense, lots of hidden narrative, rich subtext, you know. People tend to avoid Taldinderil's work. They think it's... I was going to say dry, but yes, boring. They don't know what they're missing.
Onward, sailors! What treasures await us?
These decks need swabbing. Get to it!
Welcome aboard, sailor.
One of you is the thief. I'll crack this case yet.
You lay yet more burdens on an already burdened brow? I stole no pies. Now off with you before I cast you into the dungeon.
Avast! Why do you pester me like this, nosy wench? I've no use for lubber pies.
Careful there, friend. There's a thief about. One of these two scamps is the criminal mastermind behind a half-baked plot to steal a pie. My pie, in fact. Cut down in its crispy, gooey prime while my back was turned. Oh, goodness, no! Sure you recognize the most clever and curvaceous investigator in Tamriel. Clearly you need to read up on my escapades. Some clever writers committed a few to paper. Should be a copy around here somewhere.
So, finished reading about my heroic exploits? Impressive, yes? Yes, Investigator Vale at your service. Have a puzzling crime to report? Well, I'll sort out your issue soon enough. First, I need to expose the sticky-fingered pie pilferer. It's clearly one of these two. What? Of course I am, silly. I know this seems like an unsolvable crime to the average citizen, but it's really all quite clear to me. Simply put, I'm never wrong. Proof? Why, of course I have proof. I just want these two to wriggle on the hook a bit longer. I'll reveal the identity of the thief soon enough.
Avast! Why do you pester me like this, nosy wench? I've no use for lubber pies. That slippery Breton must have taken it. Believe me, I know a thief when I see one, and that little twerp is guilty as they come. Must be mighty quick, though. I barely took me eyes off the rascal, and these eyes are as sharp as fish hooks, see? No, not possible. Investigator Vale said one of us is guilty, and it weren't me. She's clever as a one-eyed shark, that one. Vale's never wrong. Never! I saw a flash of brown fur out of the corner of me eye, quick as a dolphin in the wake. It was heading towards the hedgerow, I think. You don't think the Breton's a werewolf, do you?
You lay yet more burdens on an already burdened pie? I can't trouble myself with such trifling matters. I have a kingdom to look after, and a churlish child to wrangle. I stole no pies. It was clearly the pirate over there. I have no idea how. I never saw the scoundrel leave. What? You want me to believe that Investigator Vale got this wrong? Ha! Preposterous! The pirate's to blame. Just look at all these crumbs. Only a sloppy mariner would make such a mess. Yes? Look, they're everywhere. Leading off into the bushes, it seems. Why that scallywag stole off into the bushes, I don't know. But you can't expect a weary sovereign to understand the mind of a criminal.
Ah, you've arrived just in time to see me expose the pastry thief. It's quite clear that the guilty party is none other than that pirate there. The picaroon's testimony, while colourful, included the flavour of the pie, a fact that only someone who tasted it would know. Another puzzling case closed. Impressed? A dog? Of course. The fur, the crumbs. How could I have missed it? It was so obvious. No, this isn't right. This isn't how the story goes. I am Investigator Vale. I am never wrong. I hear a name. Who is Tanelwen? I am so confused. Yes, I remember now. That damned book, The Illuminous. It's to blame, isn't it? I'll go check on Arudiel now. Auriel knows he'll need the help. Thank you, my friend. Being a sultry detective was uncomfortable. Let's see if Arudiel has found a solution yet.
Does that mean we aren't in trouble?
I don't know, but now I'm hungry.
There you are. I have wonderful news. Maybe. The book, it changed. I was examining the book again, trying to see if there was anything I missed. Then, lines of text started appearing on the page right before my eyes. I know! She just returned. How did you manage it? So my plan works. I knew it would. Well, maybe not knew. Strongly suspected. I don't mean to be vain. Oh, never mind. I think the book is responding to what you did somehow. Just take a look. Glardia's persona seems tied to the Illuminous in a more explicit way than the others, but I still haven't managed to identify her character. We're making progress, though, I think. Freeing my friends is clearly angering whatever force is driving this. If the Illuminous grows angry enough, maybe the force behind it will reveal itself. How's that for a plan? That wasn't rhetorical. Is this? This is an atrocious plan, isn't it? Have you found Selenia yet? Check the Academy walls. I thought I saw her up there. It's ironic. She normally hates heights. Get her down and perhaps we can make a bit more headway here.
I think I saw something moving out there in the snow.
Did you hear that? Something moving just beyond the light of the campfire. By the divines, it's cold out.
better.
take pity on me.